All relationships go through a crisis of disappointment. At the beginning of your relationship during the honeymoon phase, everybody is putting their best in the relationship. They're giving their partner the time and attention. Their emotional needs are being met. Their sexual desires are at its all-time high. So you're having lots of frequently high-quality sex. You're having time apart and you make each other feel desired all the time. And both people are putting their maximum effort. Now, the problem with the honeymoon phase is it normally only goes for about 12 months. And after the 12 months of the honeymoon phase, then people's motivation and the intensity of effort they put in tends to decrease. And then couples slide into the appreciation phase, where you learn to appreciate all the things about your partner that nobody else knows about. Now, then couples get in the habit of relating in the habituation phase. Now, once you're in the habituation phase, what tends to happen then is over a period of time, you get comfortable. You take your partner for granted. You think they're always going to be there. You think they're always going to tolerate your bullshit, and they think that their feelings aren't going to change. But the problem is normally around 3 to 4 year mark, that's when people go through the crisis of disappointment. And normally around that point in time, you look at your partner and realize that's the real them. How they're showing up at the beginning can be very different to how they're showing up at the 3 to 4 year mark. And there can be some very valid reasons for this. And when your partner stops putting in the same amount of effort that they did at the beginning, often people go through a crisis of disappointment. They are disappointed that their partner isn't showing up the same way they did at the beginning. Now, a big problem with the crisis of disappointment is frequently you're doing the same thing at the same time. Both of you experiencing disappointment in that the happily ever after you expected to be happening isn't happening now. Every relationship will eventually go through a crisis of disappointment. And then the real task of relating with your partner begins. The real task of you showing up for the relationship even when you don't feel like it. Or the real task of actively seeking to meet your partner's needs, even if your partner isn't actively seeking to meet yours. This is the real challenge that the crisis of disappointment points to. One of my clients once said, the only way they can stay in the marriage is by continuously lowering their standards down to zero, so that way they maintain their level of disappointment. And I wouldn't recommend that. It's useful for both people to stand in their integrity and keep asking for what they want, and for both people to actively seek to meet each other's needs rather than both people lowering their expectations to zero. Good relationships exist when people can overcome the disappointment to their partner and find the best of themselves and bring the best of themselves to their partner and ask their partner to do the same thing. When both people do that, that's when people end up experiencing happiness, which is what I would wish for all of my clients. So if you are having a challenge in your relationship, if you're experiencing disappointment with your partner, well, it's important for you to not only express that disappointment and ask for change, but you also need to consider how you're showing up now. And how you're showing up now probably isn't how you showed up at the beginning. When both people can overcome their disappointment and bring the best themselves to a relationship, well, then relationships tend to change very quickly and very positively. So I hope this has helped. Please like and subscribe to the channel. There's a booking link in the description if you'd like to book in for a session. And I look forward to making more quality content for you shortly. Thanks very much. Bye.
This is placeholder media that you'll see if you add a layout to an empty scene. You can go ahead and delete it.